Cool. So this is just going to be a little debugging session workshop for Recoil for those of y'all who are working on it or want to work on it. Um, I think it was Clayton that wanted some troubleshooting to start off with. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got a very strange error. Um, it's sort of like cannot read properties of null reading use context. However, I'm using recoil, so there's no use context in my
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, it might be using context under the hood. Can you share your screen? Let's take a look at it.
Yeah. Let's see. So it should it's like just says reading use context, I guess. As well as this error above it at recoil root.
Okay, cool. Um, so let's start from yeah. Did this error start happening when you added recoil in? Was it working before?
Yeah, it's pretty much when I added in. I have a bunch of I'm actually utilizing it in the code. I think that's when it happened is when I started actually wrapping my stuff in recoil.
Mhm.
Um,
But just importing it and setting up the recoil route, that worked fine, right?
yeah.
Okay. Can we go in and comment out the places where you're using it and just verify that that's all good from there?
So let's
And you
see.
can probably keep the atoms file. That's fine. And just where you're using it in the app.
It's gonna be in home page. Uh, so like probably in
You want to comment out where it's using trips too, right?
right. So here.
And then probably user trips.
That's weird, but that works. And then probably in yep here. That's gonna give me a new error, but what else is it in? Right. Now, I mean, it's gonna say all this because it's using
Yeah, so just make sure you're commenting out where you're using those.
an app and add new trip.
It should give you the line numbers there. Yeah, you don't need to worry about the state. Can you go back to the browser for a second? So I was looking at line 72 and add new trip.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me just comment that out. And you don't need to select the whole line. You can just put your cursor in it and hit the command slash, and it should
Oh,
come.
okay. Yeah.
And what was the other file I was looking at? An app. So 33, 34, 16.
Just I just need to not ref strips. So, huh?
Can you take a look at the browser again? Set trips is not defined. Trips is not defined. Line 72. And that's an add new trip. 72.
I think you
Yeah.
just need to save the file.
Oh yeah.
Still
Cool.
get the context here. Yeah.
Cool. So we know that that was not it. Let's go ahead and just pull out the context wrappers to see where it's failing.
So
Sorry, the recoil stuff. Yeah.
huh. I get rid of one of them.
Can we take a look at the code again? Cool. Are you just for kicks, can you comment out line 5? I don't think it's going to change anything, but okay, cool. Can you scroll down a little bit on that error just to see if that's the end? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Interesting. Let's go into your code again. Hit Command Shift F and just type recoil in there. So this will tell us you can close up anything that's in the package lock. Let's just make sure we got all of the things.
Opted out recoil root. That's commented out.
There we go. There's one. Yep, that's there. Okay, cool.
That's there. That's commented. That's commented out. That's commented out. There's Adam, but that's not being utilized anywhere. Unless you need to comment this out.
No, it's probably fine.
Okay.
Cool. So let's see. Can you show me the error again? Um, hmm, Interesting. And you're not using context explicitly in here, right?
No, there's no context.
Hmm.
It's not even imported anywhere.
No. Could it be an installation problem?
Um, I mean, you did the npm install after you included your recoil stuff. It should be in your package JSON.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, and then you can go look in uh your node packages directory, and it'll show all the or node modules. Sorry, and it'll all the stuff will be in. There's a billion things in there, but Recoil should be one of them. Yep, cool. So somewhere something is reading null where it doesn't want to be. Um, and this was all working before you added recall, right?
Yeah.
Can we go back to the search and just double check we have everything? That looks right. Yep. Cool. 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 Yep, that all looks all right. Hmm.
I think the home page wasn't saved. I think I saw you might have to save that file.
Oh yeah, look at that. Good catch.
Downloaded.
Yep. I highly recommend going into preferences and turn on the autosave when you lose focus feature. Then
Yeah.
that never happen. Cool. So we know this part works. So the line you just commented out, like, can we look at that? So let's slowly start adding stuff in, starting from the top. So let's go back to the index and just put that stuff back in. And you can click into it from the search page to the search results. It's a little easier. Yeah, let's put that recolor root back in and make sure that nothing breaks there.
No.
Cool. Let's go to a component that is bringing in a simple atom. So go back to your search results. We can see which one that is. What's the simplest one? Maybe let's look at the home page. Take a look at the home page and see. So cool. We're importing that. Great. Um, yeah, we put a line 3, 5, and let's just do 3, 5, and 8 for now. Cool. This might blow up. Let's see.
There it is.
Cool. Great. So let's take a look at what we have. Let's go back and look at the code. And you can just command tab to switch between tabs.
Yeah.
And most of your time is spent debugging, so learning to move around faster, using the mouse as little as possible is gonna make that whole process way faster, and that's where I spend most of my time. But cool. So let's see. We were in the homepage. We bombed out on use recall value trips atom. Let's go into the atoms and double check that our atoms are set up right. Cool. So there's our export constant trips atom. That is an atom. It's an object with a key and a default value. Okay, that looks fine. So let's go back to the other one. Just yeah, tab back that. Use recoil value trips atom. That all looks right. Did we forget to do something in the top? I don't think so. Can we go back to your index just to double check? Cool. So we have our recoil root. I wonder if router is interfering with it at all. Huh.
Should router be on top instead of recoil root?
Let's try it. I don't think that's going to change anything, but who knows? And you can just use option up or down arrow to move lines around. Yeah, way easier. I'm cutting and pasting.
Would that comma behind router be affecting anything on the bottom on line 15?
So that's part of the render there. So the reactor
Okay,
is saying render this component into this element.
gotcha.
Cool. Different error, right? Invalid argument to use recoil value. Expected an atom or selector instead of object to object. Interesting. All right. Oh, I think I might have an idea where we're at. So let's go back to our where are we? Let's go back to the one that we had. I forget which one it was. The homepage. Yeah. Can we console log out what trips atom is before we hit line 8? In fact, you can comment out line 9 too. Cool. Let's just reload that page and see what we get. Recoil state trips. Okay. That seems right. Can we go back to the code and let me take a look at what that error was. Can you uncomment 9? I think we're really close here. Something is. So for some reason so we know trips atom there is in the console we can see that it's a recoil state, which I believe is what atoms are. But the error is that use recoil value is getting an object. Right? Can we take a look at that?
Yeah.
Interesting. So invalid. Why would it be doing that? This is probably something really simple. Can we try something just for kicks here?
Yeah.
In the homepage, can you comment out the line 5 where we're bringing in trips atom? And then pop over to your atoms file and let's just bring all that in. Just copy that because we need to import. And let's do that import atom from recoil up top and just set up the atom right there. I don't think it's a problem with the export. And so we'll just say get rid of that export in line 8. So now we're just saying trips atom is our atom. And hey, is that working now? Page isn't bombing out.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's a problem with the way that we're importing it. Which is weird. So let's take a look at that. Export constant trips atom. That seems right. Export const. Can we take a look at your atoms file one more time? There's something. It feels like there's something really simple that we're missing. Key default. Nope, that's right. Import atom. Recoil. That's right. Feels like there's something really simple I'm missing here. Let's go back to the homepage. You know what? I want to see something. Let's uncomment out 5. Uh, and then change 8 to be like trips Adam 2 or something. And let's just console log both those out. Just put another console log there. And you can do Option Shift down arrow to copy the line if you want. Boom. Cool. And let's see what that shows up in our log there.
Object.
Can you scroll all the way down there on the console log?
So it's all the way down. Yeah.
Is it not getting to that? Let's take a look at the code. Or actually, can you hit the clear button on the console? The little here, I'll get this. The clear button on the console here. Cool. And just reload the page. Cool.
That's an app. That's not from the homepage. That's a different object. It's a different console log.
Let's go back to the homepage again. And comment out 17 so we can just see those values. And I like to put before those console logs, just like console log out a line of dashes or just something to indicate or where we're at. If we, because we looks like we have a couple of console logs in there, we don't like confused by what we're looking at.
So like
Just like add a line before 14 and console log out like Adam values in homepage or something. Cool. So those look like they're the same, but one works and one doesn't. Huh. And again, just for kicks, can we go back to homepage? And in line 18, let's uncomment that and just have it use recall value trips Adam 2. See if that blows up.
Oh,
wow. So it looks like those are the same, but one works and one doesn't. Why? Why would that be? Huh. So those two atoms look identical, right?
yeah.
Huh. And we just copy pasted lines 8 through 11 there. Hmm. So this gets it to work, but it's not going to work if we want to use that atom in more than one place, right?
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of doing it. So it's really weird. Can we go back to the browser where we console logged out those things? And just open up those objects again. Just to verify that they're the same. Why? Wow. What was that exact error again? This is really curious. Let's go back and use the first one to get the error back. I know it's gonna wind up being something super simple, right? Okay. Let's see. Invalid meant to recoil. Good. Let's see. Importing the atom. Can we take a look at the homepage again? So we know that atom is good.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm. That looks like a good import, right? Um, hmm. Can we go back to the index again? Take a look at something. Import recall group from, yeah, that's right. And then back to the atoms file. Export const trip atom. Looks right. Export const atom. Keep playing that. So we know this atom is good. Sorry, can we go back to the homepage one more time? Import atoms. That all looks right. That all looks right. I don't know why that's not working. Um, Crazy. And we can look at that and see that they're exactly the same, pretty much. They're not the same.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the same object because we use two different things to create them. What could be wrong here? Um, Recoil value. Yeah, that's right. And it works with that other atom. I feel like there's something really simple that we're missing. Um, let's try something else. Let's go back into atoms and let's just export another atom. Let's just make like a test atom or something.
What we use here.
Yeah, just call it whatever. Just give it a default of empty string or 0 or whatever. You get that colon in there.
Oh yeah.
Um, cool. Let's go ahead and import that. Wait, can we go back to the browser for a second there? Are we importing Atom 1 or Atom 2 now? What? 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 Can can you delete lines 6 through 11 here?
Did that just start working? I missed what happened.
Yeah.
The most nonsensical thing just happened.
What? What? And then get rid of line 16 too, I guess. Did that just start working?
No way.
How? How? Okay, again, just for kicks, just to make sure that we just saw what we just saw. Let's go back into atoms and comment out. Yeah. If it breaks now, is it working now? How? How? How is that working now?
I don't have an answer for this.
What kind of demons? What kind of demons are we dealing with here?
I think it's similar magic to how we all got through phase 3.
I think I'm gonna light the whole repo on fire.
How did that? So, and we're sure that the Atoms JS was saved before, right?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a typo in here.
No, it was just this.
Um, uh, okay, just to double check the magic here, can you control Z back to before we added that second atom? Or just undo a bunch of times? Just to get it back to the exact state that it was at. Okay. Does this break? It doesn't look like it breaks. What happened? um, and double check homepage, make sure we didn't change anything there. Can we control Z back to where we before we added the trips atom to?
Real thing just doesn't do anything. But
Yeah, just go ahead and delete it then.
let's try using it.
And let's get rid of 13 too, just to be sure. Get rid of all the devils. And line 6.
What's up with this?
And you can just delete line 6 too there. And it works. Cool. Well, we fixed it.
Uh,
Um,
okay.
what kind of wizardry was that? So, what are my guesses here? I would have to go back and look at the tape. I feel like there was something unsaved somewhere that maybe wasn't getting picked up. I don't remember that being the case. Otherwise, it looks exactly the way it was when it was broken. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the tape because I don't believe that just happened. Well, cool. You were doing it right. It was just not working for some unknown reason. Cool job, computers.
Okay.
Um,
Why?
so this was a good exercise in debugging, I guess. Um, going through and checking all of our assumptions, first by uncommenting everything or commenting everything out, making sure the base thing didn't error out. adding stuff in slowly, one piece at a time until it broke, and then kind of backing out and trying different things to see, like, find the boundary of where it broke, which we did, and that didn't work. But we knew that it was an error with this atom somehow, even though it looked the same as the other atom. And then at some point, when you've followed all of your, this is why, like, I'm never worried about computers or AI taking jobs, because we followed all the logical steps. And I was like, let's try just to add another atom and see what happens. And for some reason, that worked. And whether that uncovered something that we missed, or who knows what it did. Just making those wild leaps and try, like, okay, I'm gonna try making a different atom, or I'll try doing one from scratch and seeing what's different, or I'm just gonna call it something different. Sometimes if you name something that clashes with something internal, that'll be a problem.
I think it nudged a single transistor in my computer.
Yeah, it's so weird. Is the current version, is that on your GitHub right now, the unworking version, or did you not push up the broken one?
The Recoil is currently not pushed to GitHub right now.
Cool. Yeah. So curious. I'm so curious what happened. Anyway, we did it. I have no explanation. There's no reasonable explanation for that. Ghosts. It's my guess. Cool. It's normally a lot easier than that, everyone else. Yeah, that's just astounding. I'm definitely gonna go back and watch and see what that was. It had to be something super simple. Anyway, programming, hooray. What else do we want to take a look at? Anyone else have any gremlins that get squashed?
I don't necessarily have a gremlin to squash. I was curious about the use recoil callback function, and I'm having trouble understanding from the docs when that would be useful, or I don't know, maybe you can just explain it to me in plain English and maybe that would.
The use recoil callback?
Yeah. I was wondering if that's a way that I can, like, use recoil to pass a callback function around that does a thing and saves things to state. I don't know. I ran into a couple situations where props don't pass around the same in React Native, so I was hoping recoil could solve some things I was struggling with.
Honestly,
I've managed
used the use recoil callback, but I have passed around functions and sockets. Like, I've passed around all sorts of stuff with recoil.
okay.
Let me take a look and see. Provides an API for callbacks to work with it.
I'm just having trouble parsing what the docs are saying. It's
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I think unless you come up with a specific case for use recoil callback, I don't think it's going to help what you're looking at. I think the big thing that it is trying to solve is that basically you want it to callback feels like a weird word for this if it's doing what I think it's doing. So basically, it lets you write these functions that gives you information about the state without actually bringing the state in.
I see.
So if the if your component would re-render if some state came in, and you want to just get a value without re-rendering, or if it's expensive to compute, or for whatever reason you don't want to have to bring in something there. It's kind of like a stored procedure in databases, it sounds like, where you're like, oh, I have this kind of, like, I've written a function out there, I'm going to use it, instead of just getting data and running it in here. It seems like a convenience function if these things are a problem, which it doesn't sound like those are the things that are problems. So yeah,
I've managed to work around it for the most part. I don't think there's anything actually, like, standing in front of me completing MVP related to it or anything like that. I was looking at it yesterday and I got curious about it. So I was
Yeah.
wondering if maybe there's a
I've
quick
honestly
explanation.
never used much of anything beyond the basic state stuff. I played a little bit with the what do you call some of the extra bits in the atoms, but like, and I haven't done anything super complex with it. So, but I mean, definitely, I don't think anything that we're going to be doing here is going to require that.
Mhm.
Cool. Anyone else have questions or anything you want to look at?
I feel like I have a new weird error.
Yeah, I'll see it.
Um, yeah. Uh, okay. So let me share my screen again. I feel like this is an easier one. So this thing all works if I uncomment an app this it breaks. And it goes trip stop filter is not a function in homepage.
Okay. Is trips an array?
Let me console log it. Here's the console log.
Yeah, can we see you with the? I think you're already console logging it, right? Oh, you're sending trips data there. Yeah.
Did we even get there? No.
Where are we getting trips from?
So this is just the. You mean like where are we? What are we calling?
So go back to the error. It's saying trips filter is not a function.
Yeah, it's not at homepage.
So where can we take a look at that bit there?
So this function trip stop filter.
Okay. So we are getting that from the atom. Getting that value. Can we console log out what trips is there before it gets that line?
Which never making in there.
Probably should be at the first thing before the error. Yeah. Oh, so trips is an object with an array in it. It looks like.
Oh, I doing this yesterday. How do you just? Why do I keep calling it an object array?
Can we
Why
see where you're setting that up?
Yeah.
In the atom, I guess. Cool. That is an array. Can
This
we
is
see?
all stemming from this particular get request.
Let's go back to the homepage for a second, because that's where we're getting that error.
Yeah.
So use recall value trips atom. So why is it saying that it's an object instead of an array? Great question. Because that should be, yeah. When well, where are you? So where are you setting trips? I guess.
Where am I setting it?
Yeah. Because right now it looks like if you look at the console, it's an object with something in it, right?
Yeah.
Can we see what that something is? Yeah, so pop open trips there. Cool. So you're populating trips somewhere. So let's take a look at where doing those set trips in your code.
So trips, set trips, use recoil, state trips, atom. Here's the use effect.
And you're doing set trips on line 33.
Yeah.
So what is data there? It looks like we're already console logging that out.
Mm-hmm.
Can we take a look at that? So your data you're getting here is an object, and so you're setting trips to that object, right? Which is probably not what you want. Presumably,
Yes.
you're going to want more than one trip there.
Yeah.
So you're going to need to treat it, as if you were using state. So can we go back and look at app where we're using that on line 33 there? So data is the new object we want to set, if we want to add to the trips array, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before line 33, trips is an empty array. So how would you add an object to an empty array using?
We spread.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be on line 33. You just want to set trips to an array that's spread out.
So like
Yeah, just on line 33 where you're
so it's
setting it there.
kind of like
You still want to do set trips.
right.
So instead of data, you want to put that data in a array that's spread with the rest of the stuff.
Like sort of
And so you want to add it with you want what's currently in trips, right?
yeah, so trips like that.
But actually, get rid of all the stuff inside of the square brackets. I'll tell you kind of like how I think about it.
Yeah.
So I know I want to set it to an array. So I'm creating an empty array here. I want the array to contain what's in the current array. So we want to spread out what's in trips. So currently this will give you exactly what is trips. And now, yeah, exactly. Add the data on the end there.
Okay. That undid that error. Yeah.
Yeah. So especially for stuff like whatever filter is not a function or whatever, length or any method on those objects. My first go-to is checking the thing to make sure it is what I think it is. In this case, it wasn't. We were trying to call a filter on an object, and then just follow that thread back and see where that object is coming from. We looked at the atom and saw it was initiated correctly, but
Right.
when we set the value, that's where we were messing up. So, yeah.
Cool.
Cool. What else we got? Cool. Feels like we got some interesting stuff done here. Yeah, I'll put this recording up if anyone wants to do some detective work on that gremlin situation. Otherwise, yeah, if there's anything else you want to talk about, give me a holler and we will go over some stuff. Sound good? Awesome. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see y'all in a little bit.